Hey there, Alex here. The Samsung Galaxy Note series needs very little introduction. As one of Samsung's most iconic lineup, it literally defined what we call a phablet today. As you can probably see from the footage, today I'm going to be talking about the Galaxy Note 5. Since the Note 7 was recalled, this is still the latest Note series in the market, but it is in fact already over 1.5 years old, and that's a pretty long time when it comes to technology. So the question is it still worth getting the Galaxy Note 5 now? Let's start with the things that have held up well on the Note 5. The design of the phone still looks great, especially if you're not a huge fan of curved display like me. The gorgeous looking 5.7-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED screen still looks amazing, and it is encased in a body with tiny bezels, which makes the phone surprisingly small for its screen size. Also, the curves on the back of the phone helps to make the phone nicer to hold in hand. The performance of the phone has held up really well, with Samsung's own Exynos 7420 chipset, 4GB of RAM and the faster UFS 2.0 storage in either 32 or 64GB. The user interface is responsive, apps and games runs well on it too. Unless you're comparing this to newer devices side by side, you're not going to find the phone lacking power. The 16-megapixel camera with f1.9 aperture and optical image stabilization is still able to capture really good looking images with ease. The camera performance was pretty much top-notch when the phone came out. Even though there are now phones with better cameras, I still think that the Note 5 can keep up with most of them. The only thing that can't quite match up would be the slightly slower autofocus speeds. It's not slow, it's just not as fast as newer devices like the S7 Edge or the Google Pixel. Part of what makes the Note series unique has always been the S Pen to me. The pen is able to detect 2048 levels of pressure, which makes it pretty nice to draw on. It also allows for more precise input, which comes in handy when you're dealing with spreadsheets or even just playing a game. The Note 5 also introduced what I think is still the most useful S Pen related feature, called Screen Off Memo. No need to wake the screen, just pull the S Pen out and start writing on the phone. This may be one of the simplest features for the S Pen, but it's also one that I think more people are likely going to use. There are a few other features too, like using the S Pen to select text or multiple objects, crop certain area of the screen, capture a long screenshot, or create a memo that can be converted into a variety of actions. These are nice to have, but not something that I use every single day. But something I'll definitely be doing every day is charging the phone, which brings me to the things that have not held up as well on the Note 5. The first being the battery capacity, which is just 3000 mAh, which is actually a slight downgrade from the Note 4. It's able to last me just about a day of use, but not much more. Hardware-wise, the phone also lacks any form of water resistance unlike the Galaxy S7. Granted, it wasn't a mainstream feature back then, but it would have been nice considering the lack of a removable battery and expandable storage. Talking about the battery and storage, it might be a deal breaker for some people, but I don't really mind not having either of those, since the battery can always be replaced at a service center and I rely more on cloud storage. Samsung's TouchWiz is still an acquired taste. While it has improved a lot, especially with its newer releases, and is one of the more cohesive looking skins for Android, it's still nowhere near perfect. When you compare the responsiveness of a phone with near stock Android interface and TouchWiz, it's easy to tell the difference. The Marshmallow update did improve the responsiveness of the phone, which is nice to see, and that's not something I can always say for major Android software updates. However, the speed of those updates are another story. Software updates are still not quite as fast as I would have liked. It's still running Marshmallow, and in Singapore, it's still on the October 2016 security patch. I'm not expecting day one releases, but over half a year wait is a bit much. To answer the question of whether the Note 5 is still worth buying really depends on one thing, the price. Because unless you really want that S Pen and can't wait for the next Note, the S7 Edge is a better option. Or wait a bit longer to see what the S8 offers instead. But if you can get one at a lower price, the Note 5 is still a really great smartphone to get, even today. It may not be able to go toe-to-toe with the newer flagship devices, but it will at least be able to keep up with them. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. Thanks and see you guys on the next one.